tayo.
Hindi pwede kasi may inaaral ako.
O ano ba yung inaaral mo?
May exam kasi kami sa Buslo. Tulungan mo kaya ako?
Oo, kakatake ko lang yan last term eh. Ano bang topic nyo na?
Dito sa consent.
Consent. O sige, game tuturuan kita. Okay, ano ba yung ano pa pagkakaintindi mo dyan sa consent?
Di ba yun yung perfection ng contract at saka yung meeting of the minds ng both parties?
Oo, tama ka dyan. Kaya kahit sino pwedeng pumasok sa contract of sales. Ayon na sa general rule, any person who has capacity to act or power to do acts with legal effects or more specifically with the power to obligate himself may enter into a contract of sale whether a seller or buyer. So kaya kahit sino pwedeng pumasok sa kontrata, pero syempre meron din naman mga exceptions katulad ng minor, insane, demented person, sa deaf mutes.
Bigyan mo nga ako ng sample sa bawat isa.
Okay, for example, sa minors. Cholo!
Ay, yes po. Hi, Tita Carmen.
Huwag mo naman ako ng tubig.
Ay, sige po.
Pati yung electric fan, pakiano.
Okay po.
Pababa na din ng kama.
Ayan na po.
Ayan.
Ito po yung water nyo.
Ay, nakakapagod.
Ano pong dala nyo?
Siya nga pala, di ba may lupa kayo sa Batangas? Ito ba? May lupa kayo sa Batangas. Eto. Pinamahan mo naman to. Ilang taong ka na ba?
16 po.
Ay, sige, pwede na yan. Ako, pinamahan mo to. Dali, ibebenta natin yung lupa nyo.
Hala, hindi po ako marunong pumirma.
Ha? Bakit naman? 16 ka na. Saka ba nag-aaral? Ba't ka marunong pumirma? Pinamahan mo na yan. Ibebenta natin yung lupa mo para magkapera tayo.
Hindi po ako marunong pumirma, tsaka magsulat. Paano po
Ay!
yun?
In this case, the sale is not void, but merely voidable. Yung parents insane ay ito.
Tao po. Tao po. Tito Carmen. Hala. Tito Carmen. Oh my God. Ginawa niyo na po benta yung bahay niyo sa bayan. Ano nangyari sa inyo? Tito Carmen.
Kainin mo to.
Oh. Tito Carmen, kailangan niyo na pirmahan yung kontrata para maibenta yung bahay. Anong gagawin niyo, Tito Carmen? Tito Carmen, kailangan niyo pirma.
In this case, the sale is not void, but merely voidable. Example naman para sa deaf mutes ay Jolo, anak, galing ako sa manggakan. Kailangan na natin ibenta yung lupa nyo. Kasi, alam mo, hindi na siya useful. Kailangan na natin. In this case, the sale is not void, but merely voidable. In these cases, contracts entered by such legally incapacitated persons are not void, but merely voidable and subjected to annulment or ratification. So, ang isang minor ay walang capacity magbigay ng consent sa sale, at dahil ang consent ay isa sa mga requisites ng isang kontrata, ito ay hindi maaaring pwedeng maging valid sale.
Ano ba yung mga necessary?
So, yung mga necessaries, according to Family Code, it is everything indispensable for sustenance, dwelling, clothing, medical attendance, education, and transportation, and keeping with the financial capacity of the family. At since law and sales ang discussion natin, ang mga necessaries na related dito ay ang sustenance, dwelling, clothing, medicine, books, and materials like I said. Kailangan para maging valid ang sales ng mga necessaries sa minors ay presence ang two elements like perfection of sales and delivery of subject matter.
Yung emancipation, tungkol saan naman yun?
Emancipation from the word itself, meaning to free someone from someone else. Emancipation previously, it takes place at the age of majority, which is 21. Pero ay sa family code, ginawa na ng 18 years old ang age of majority. Siyempre, alam mo naman, diba, kapag 18 ka na, legal ka na, diba, you're free to do legal things. Emancipation will take place by the marriage of the minor and voluntary emancipation by recording in the civil registrar.
Ako ng emancipation.
Ang isang example ng emancipation ay void, but rendering emancipation by marriage at age of 18, even without marrying, is already of legal age.
Eh, yung senility and serious illness, anong magandang example, Karen?
Ang isang example yan ay, Tita, pirmahan niyo na po itong kontrata para mabenta na po natin yung lupa niyo sa Baguio.
Hindi ko kaya.
Ay, nako, kahit yung tambart niyo na lang po, Tita. Ayan. In this case, the incapacity to give consent, which constitutes only vice and consent, will only render the contract merely voidable. Another case is kapag hindi nabayaran ng price at hindi nakuha ang subject matter, this will give rise to rescission. O, nagigets mo ba?
Oo naman.
Dito, lipat kaya tayo ng ibang room.
Sige.
Sales with third parties, usually, most married couples, conjugally properties na. So, kung ano yung meron ng isa, meron na rin yung isa. For example,
Wala ako sa yung house and lot nung dalaga pa ako.
Okay, saan ba yun?
Sa Cerro Fortuna,
Ganun ba?
2 million.
Sige, okay lang.
the sale would be merely voidable since selling a real conjugal property requires the consent of the wife, and the wife may bring an action for the annulment of the contract on the entire property. So, sa sales between spouses naman, under Article 1490 of the Civil Code, spouses cannot sell property to each other except a separation of property was agreed upon the marriage settlements.
Number 2, a juridical decree for the separation of property.
Dahil kasal na tayo, magkaroon tayo ng agreement sa separation ng property. Kung ano yung sa'yo, sa'yo. Kung ano yung sa akin, akin.
O sige, kung ganun ang gusto mo, okay lang sa akin yun.
But in addition to that, contracts entered under violation Article 1490 are not merely voidable, but it's null and void. Uy, guys, una nakalis na ako. Bye-bye.
Incapacity mandated by law. So, yung civil code prohibits some people from entering contract through certain circumstances, which at first, agent with respect to the property whose sale may be had, guardian with respect to the property of the person who is under his guardianship. Next is executor, with respect to the property of the estate on his guardianship. Next is executor with respect to the property of the estate under his administration. Next is public officers with respect to the properties of the estate per any subdivisions or any government owned which is entrusted to them. Justice, judges, connected with the administration of justice with respect to the property and rights in litigation, and lawyers with respect to the property and rights which may be object of any litigation.
Ano naman yung mga about sa agents saka sa broker?
Okay, so yung agents, actually, ang main job nila is to find sellers and buyers. And in fact, they are not prohibited to buy for themselves. They were like engaging for others in order to get commissions and negotiating contracts, wherein the negotiation of both parties was never acting on its own. But in the name of those who employed him, for example, ito, yung amo ko may pinapabenta sa akin na lupa. O ito, 2 million lang. O ano ba, gusto nyo ba? O sige, pirmahan nyo na itong ano, para ano.
Mga exception para maaaring magbenta ng mga agents.
There are no other exceptions granted in all other instances, unless the sale made by the agent has the express consent of their principals.
Sino naman yung mga right to raise the nullity of the contracts?
Any person may invoke the existence of the contract whenever juridical effects found are asserted against him. Example, the sale can be annulled if some doctrine of guardianship is a trust of the highest order, meaning the trustee can't be allowed to have any inducement to neglect his ward's interest just to acquire the property. In short, hindi pa rin pilitin ng mga magulang ang isang minor na ibenta ang lupa nila. Kaya this makes the contract void. An example of sale with guardian is, bibigyan ko na kayo ng consent para mabenta na natin yung lupa ko sa Cagayan. Oo. Para makabili ako ng bagong kotse.
Sige, anak. Hoy, Mare, bilhin mo na yung loting, binibenta ng pamangkin ko.
Sige, akin na ba yan? Magkano ba to? O sige, pipirmahan ko na. Kaya pag sabi mo, go. Ayan na, Ray, nakuha ko na ha. Ibebenta ko na sa'yo para makuha mo na yung lupa ng pamangkin mo.
Sige, salamat. At least nakuha ko rin yung lupa ng pamangkin ko.
These topics prohibit transactions under fiduciary relationships wherein the lawyer does undue influence on his clients. Any violation of this prohibition would constitute malpractice and is ground for suspension. A lawyer is from purchasing any interest in the subject matter of the litigation which he is conducting. Contingent fee may be present, but it should always subject to the supervision of the court with regards to the stipulated amount, and in fact, it may be reduced or nullified. Tackle na natin lahat ng topic dun sa consent. So may natutunan ka
Oo
pa.
naman. Feeling ko ako perfect on yung exam eh.
Hala, be, tara na.
Oh, tara
Class
na.
na. Bye-bye.